B2B, what's going on? It's your boy True Exodus here. We're going to be looking at the Warfighter Advanced Combat Trigger from Tactical Edge. Going to talk a little bit about my experiences with the trigger. I've spent 2,000 rounds with the trigger. Going to talk with you, go over some of the features. It may be a trigger that you want to purchase and drop into your AR-15 or your AR-15 pistol or your RD9 or something along those lines. The only thing you can't drop this in is a SIG MPX. That's pretty much it. So to be perfectly honest with you guys, I am not an expert when it comes into using a AR-15 or similar platform in the field of battle. I'm not past military or law enforcement or anything like that. So I'm speaking from a civilian's perspective, but more so I'm speaking from the perspective of a shooter and what the trigger feels like. We're going to look at the price of the trigger. We're going to look at the layout of it, some of the benefits of it. But really, we're just coming at this from a shooter's perspective. So if you know and have a little bit more information than I do about this trigger, please drop us a comment below so that other people can gain from your vast amounts of knowledge, internet. When you get the trigger, this is what it's going to look like. Just in this nice little packaging right here. It's going to go through an install guide, all those different types of things, give you some description here up on the back. But that's really all there is to it. And let's kind of unbox it and just kind of look at it real fast. You get some retaining pins that come with it, and put those right there. Yeah, it's perfect. So a little bit about this trigger. There's no disconnector for the hammer to drive through, and so it creates a more efficient cycle for the bolt simply by pushing the hammer out of the way as the gun normally fires. Forces upon the bolt on the hammer are not really transmitted into any other components of the trigger assembly. And there's a constant sear engagement against the hammer. It means that the trigger is always set and ready to fire, always ready to reset and fire, I should say. Because of the unique geometry of the trigger, the safety can always be applied regardless of the hammer being down or cocked. So when this is used appropriately, it means another added layer of safety when you're administratively handling your gun and clearing malfunctions, that you can put it on safe, or you're reloading it and you're putting it on safe. You can do that even though the hammer is down. Something else that's pretty cool is that it can really be used in any caliber. It's been thoroughly tested with all traditional AR calibers and pistol caliber blowback systems. It's also actually been tested with a SIG MPX with really no damage, but still not recommended. So the trigger is actually adjustable. It's got a place right there that you can see, not this screw. This is from the older models. The newer models don't have this screw right here. But this takes an Allen key, put an Allen key in there, and you simply turn it counterclockwise, and you can adjust the poundage of how much weight you want to pull. It comes stock at 4.5 pounds, but right now I have it about 2.9 is what I've got mine at. So the trigger reset is very positive and very short. I mean, there's nothing to it. It's one of the shorter ones on the market, in my opinion. So that short distance we have to travel allows our finger to kind of move faster upon the trigger. Another reason why I have the pound so light is that I can take advantage of this ball bearing reset. I actually found that this is extremely helpful in my dry fire when I can have essentially the same poundage of trigger pull. I'm going to kind of show you what that looks like now. All right, so we had to go to a place that's less windy. Started getting really windy. We're going to test the poundage on this trigger pull. Give you a couple of reps, about 4 of them, just so you can see a good average. Trying to find a consistent spot to put in each time. So about 2.10, 2.9 is what I said. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clear this out, and we're going to look at just what the ball bearing for what you would basically pull if you were just doing like dry fire. See what that's at. It's going to be about 2 pounds, I think. Oops. So it's about, well, I thought it was 2 pounds, but it's about 1 pound, 11 ounce. So you can actually pull this down to not pull this down, but you can pull the trigger down to 2 pounds and make it a little bit more representative of what you'd be pulling if you were dry firing, a little bit more congruent with the dry fire sessions versus your actual range sessions. All right, so we're gonna do some shooting with the trigger. We're gonna do some 5-round strings here at 20 yards on that good sized piece of steel right there. Here we go. That was a 119. I average like 1.6 splits, 1.7s with this trigger. I'll get the occasional 1.5 in there. Again, I don't press the trigger really fast. There's a lot of my buddies out there and on the old YouTube and Instagram, man, they just pull the trigger so fast, and I'm just not one of those people. That was a 115. We had some 14s, mostly 17s. We had a 14 in there. All right, here we go. How many misses I had in there, but I was late on the first shot. Mostly 1.5s with a 1.7 in there. That was 6 shots, made up for a miss. 1.6s and 1.4s. So the trigger is really nice. Very rarely am I going to get up here and say, hey, there's a product that makes me perform better. But this I feel does, because it's got a number of benefits. The first benefit is you can make it stupid light, okay, and still keep it safe. The second benefit is that the stupid lightness you bring the trigger down to, you can use that stupid lightness for your actual trigger that you use in dry fire. So it's not like a fake trigger you're getting. As fast as you can move your finger in dry fire, it's going to apply on the range as well. So that's a big helpful benefit. And if you know anything about dry fire training, you're going to learn that speed is very rarely accomplished on the range. Speed is accomplished through dry fire practice and just transitions and things like that. That's all done through dry fire. The trigger is nothing different. The trigger is if you can find a reputable system that's going to help you move that finger faster and be able to get that into your brain, it's going to be a lot better for you, on the range. And I found that this trigger, it does help me. And we got 6 shots. Oh, we got a 1-2 in there. Woo! Look at me! Look how fast I am. First shot was in 5.8, and then we had a 1.6, a 1.5, a 1.5, a 1.7, and a 1.12. So that's what it is. I don't know if you can see that, but it does help me to whereas if I'm shooting a 5.5 or 6 pound mil-spec trigger, I'm not going to be able to pull it that fast. I'm not going to have a system that's going to help me press it very fast unless I want to go out and buy, a CERT drop-in bolt or some other different AR trainer that's going to help me. Well, why would I do that if I can just get a trigger that's like the Warfighter advanced combat trigger and drop it in and have the same trigger in my gun as the same trigger that I train with? So that's a selling point to me. All right, family, so after 2,000 rounds, what can we say about the Warfighter advanced combat trigger? Really, in all honesty, it's $249. It's a little pricey. However, when you keep in mind that it doubles as a training aid, it's pretty cool in my opinion. So that's really the selling point. Not only that, you get 100% lifetime guarantee with this product. Super easy to install. It's just a one-piece just drop-in system, all fully adjustable. Looking at all those things, it makes it, to me, in my mind, like a no-brainer. This is a great trigger. Now, how do I compare it to like a Geisley? Geisley's they help me be super fast, but they're not a training aid like this one could possibly be for you. So to compare it to like this, to a CMC, they're just in different ballparks, so to speak. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it is a trigger, and nothing will substitute for actual training. So this falls along the preference perspective, the preference paradigm of things to be bought. Can you be just as fast with a mil-spec trigger? Absolutely, you can be just as fast. Are you going to have the reliability of a mil-spec trigger? Absolutely, but you don't get the training aid that this provides for you. So for what it's worth, I fully think that it's just completely the price tag of what they're asking, and like I said, the guarantee makes it all pretty cool. Now, with all that said, we've got the review of the Tactical Edge Warfighter 10.5-inch pistol coming up in our next video. So, give you a little bit more detail and information about this entire pistol build from Tactical Edge here at a different time. True Exodus here. Hold fast, stay the course. Out.